Unfortunate. Alright, so hit an error with recording. Whoops. Hit an error with recording. I had to stop momentarily. So this will be a continuation of the previous video. This will be part 2. Let's just continue. Unfortunate. If just a few frames off. That happens. So a lot more aggressive play. Oh, I definitely should have done that. Solid, right? It's fine. Good aggressive play. Unfortunately, just kind of like he is able to withstand it. But I felt like the idea was fine. I felt like you were too just kind of passive in your earlier moments, and you have to be. It's about this ebb and flow of like, okay, I was passive in the early rounds. Time to turn up the heat a little bit, try to throw off my opponent. You don't want to give your opponent into this sense of comfort of like, oh, well, this dude's just going to be passive. I can also just play patient and just whittle him down, right? Frontier has the experience, like he's going to be able to just kind of whittle down your offense and whittle you down. But if you're able to flip the script and give like a quick burst of aggression, obviously Paul can't sustain it, but it can open up some opportunities for you. So I agree with the decision. But also just be sure to, try to keep that up.
However, he's still in the lead. However, I'm going to get the wall.
Nice. Okay. So like right here, right, the moment the jab starts failing, just immediately just be like, shit, alright, get the fuck out of here as soon as I can, right? Well, no, he tech rolled. No, you basically did what I would have recommended. Nah, you're fine. Ignore me.
He's trying to move out.
I jumped the gun. Again, why the lack of any sort of sway cancels, right? You never have to commit to actual sway moves. Like I get the sway moves themselves can be kind of risky, but it's like you can cancel into whatever you want, right? As long as it doesn't require a back or neutral input, you are free to cancel whatever you need to. So, doing canceling into sidestep for safety, canceling into your other plethora of moves, just to, make him not get a sense of comfort of like, oh, I only have to worry about backswing moves, so I can just challenge safely. But also, you're committing to a move after the down forward one when you don't really have an idea of what he's going to do after. And very likely he's just going to, backdash or block, and it's like, why would you do the backswing blow? What was your reasoning behind it? What did you expect him to press? Did you expect him to press back one? Maybe you would have been able to do that. Maybe. I still think you're overcommitting. Like if you think he's gonna do back one, just duck, right? And go for the launch punish. But let's see what happens.
Maybe if he adds just a little bit more lows, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Maybe that was an input error.
See,
just like
that. Understandable.
The tragedy.
Yeah.
The tragedy. You had the right idea though. Start using a bit more of the lows. Good whiff punish. Good, capitalize on the momentum. Unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, so why? What was the reasoning there?
Have a great day. May the cheese be with you. Oops.
Yeah, maybe a bit of overcommitment, but I think it was just unfortunate timing. It seemed like he was ready for like the big launching kick anyway.
Not yet.
Okay.
However, the punishment is missing.
Why did that evade? That's so weird. Okay. This character's weird. Why does he have a launching back one? Yeah, I guess it's 11 frames. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That shit's wild. That's Miguel, whatever. I'm not trying to, suddenly ask for Miguel nerfs. Although I think the entire upper echelon of Tekken 7 could easily be nerfed. And the world would be a better place for it. This includes Paul. Nice. That was a good punish, man. I don't know what to tell you. Unfortunate.
Back 2-2. Oh, nice hop kick.
Good hop kick. Don't know what you hit him out of, but good hop kick.
Done a lot of damage, but yeah, no, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nice. I mean, I already watched the match. I knew what was gonna happen, but it still hurts to see. Yeah, I mean, I feel like. Okay, so.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so you get.
Would Rage Art cancel? Yeah, I think it would have done a lot of damage, but yeah, no, yeah, I think it. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
That was very, very unfortunate.
Maybe just committing to the strange, just be like, yo, fuck it. Because think about it this way, right? It's like, okay, I'm either dead or I win, right? Like, there's just, if you're, high risk, high reward. So just committing to the, just be like, this dude just literally does not duck, right? Like, he's very committed to, like, the stand blocking. He's just like, I'm just going to be this immovable wall, right? And it's like, all right, if you don't block low, you're going to die. Yeah. Just unfortunate. Okay. Oh, I went back too far.
That means you haven't seen Miguel player, like, at all. I kind of figured there'd be more Miguel players in season 4, or even 3.
Oh, well, he didn't punish.
That's
Whatever.
Very few errors today with Miguel. Surprise.
Rip.
The steel pedal.
I feel like that would also get me, but
Miguel,
yeah.
powered by apples. One bite of an apple and it's gone. The only character who eats something before a match. No step block there. Now back to spacing. Yeah, they made that homing. No idea why. Oh, a slow bun.
That's fine.
7 slices of cheese is Frontier. Oh yeah, he is. He is very, very solid. I love his flow. His flow with Miguel is very, very savage-like. He has the cheese for sure. He's the one, like, after F4-3 is a with Punisher. He's the one who did back 2-2 and, like, all of us start copying it. 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
Nice.
The one, it's one break, right? What happened?
Nice.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah,
No
what
matter.
happens?
Miguel ultimate tackle.
Rip.
Down people's one.
Unfortunate.
What do you think of JDCR buff? I mean, you could call it an indirect buff because he does use those characters. But of course, it remains to be seen in the next tournament and the games he gets to play against other players. I'm pretty sure it'll work out in his favor. But who knows, like, in regards to the other players as well, like, how they're going to do it.
Okay.
But I definitely think it'll be in his favor. And he's going to play really, really well. Of course, to find out how the character plays, you want to see how he plays, right? So.
Unfortunate.
Like, I did the back 2-2 after F4 too. If you
Man,
saw
that combo under from Miguel is really good. Oh!
Stuff that, like, I did the back
I'm gonna watch that again. That always feels satisfying. Good shit. Hot damn. Hot damn.
Lots of blue stuff that was well used. Thank cheese, it's Friday indeed, Seth. And I believe we're at our last
Oh,
set
that's so
for the cheese
satisfying.
dojo.
I love it.
There you go. Should commit to the punish. You got it.
Okay. So yeah, like we're in the final round, and again, it's like that you got a little bit of the aggression going, but you're not going in for like getting the Corsica forward 3, getting the side step 3, getting the back 4, or something to start getting your offense started, right?
For the cheese dojo.
And it just feels like you're too passive
commit
in how you want to get this stuff started. Think about it. Throughout the entire set, you've done nothing but like mids. He's just very, very not like he's just very inclined to just keep stand blocking, right? And that's when you start, like right here, you start chipping in. Oh shit, nice. You start chipping in with Corsica forward 3. You start getting that momentum slowly but surely, right? Getting 1 or 2 Corsica forward 3s. All of a sudden, that's 34 damage. That's like a mini combo, right? And it just keeps adding up, and you just slowly build up the momentum until you start to see cracks in the armor, cracks in the defense, where he's just like, oh, I need to get back momentum, so he starts going for riskier plays to try and get the momentum back in his favor. Is Frontier likely to do that? He seems a bit more like he's comfortable just being patient and just kind of toughing it out. But if that's the case, then that's fine, because then you just keep doing the lows that net you 17 damage every hit, right? Like 17 damage is really respectable for a low.
It's back.
A bit of an overcommitment to twist and shout, right? You got other throws, you got to start using them. Even 2+4 back, I forget the name, but there's like 2+4 back, even though the wall splat's going to be awkward, and sometimes the angle just fucks you because he just launches, you basically just launch him all the way to the other side. But it's still a very powerful throw, just because you have such advantage going in that even though you don't get a combo, you still get pretty solid Oki, right?
Oh, I was too slow. Oh no, I'm in danger. Demo man? Demo man? Okay. No, the threat of Demo man just needs to exist. He doesn't have to.
Nice.
That is the punishment. Because it's unsafe, right? I think it's like
I actually think this is where I stopped last time, so this is actually really good.
Ooh.
Oh!
That
was crazy. That was
right
crazy.
Huh.
Unfortunate.
Back one. Oh, okay. DS32 did not.
No, yeah, so again, right, like you see overcommitment to the down forward 2. Instead, you should have gone for something like forward 1+2. And just gone and be like, alright, well, he whiffed something, he's gonna slowly recover. But that gives you ample time for a mix-up opportunity, right?
Magic 4.
What'd you press? Oh shit.
Almost.
Is that what that move does on counter hit? That's busted. Man, Miguel's kind of crazy. He's a
What
OD.
is Zach going to do?
Pass
Pass the space. Oh, I didn't break that. Demo. Standing 3. QC.
Good. Oh,
Looking for that wall splat, that safe wall splat. However, he's now on the back side of it. DF1.
Unfortunate. Okay. Alright. Neutral punishment / matchup knowledge combos / Oki personal opinion stuff. Neutral. Kind of talked about it already. You're just very passive in your neutral, and look at the review, watch over the match yourself and look at these situations where you're doing mid after mid after mid, and what you're doing is safe, like you're doing down 1, but translating some of the, swapping one of those down 1s for the occasional forward 1+2, or when the opponent's back is to the wall, being like, okay, do core circle back 2 a little bit to start, like, okay, don't duck, and then give them reasons to duck, right? And doing something like core circle back 4, doing a throw, and maybe mixing up the throws you use a bit more. Like back 1+4. If your opponent's back is to the wall, obviously you don't want to use back 1+4 that much, but sometimes it might be valuable just to make them like mix it up, right? Just for the mix up. It's like if it doesn't kill them, it makes them think like, oh, this dude's crazy. He's just gonna do back 1+4, even if he loses the wall pressure. Right? Sometimes it's valuable to have that mix up. If you want to go for that, is up to you. But your neutral, you need to start utilizing more tactics and tools to supplement your mids. You're playing it safe, but you're not doing enough to make your opponent susceptible to the tools you seem to prefer using, right? It's all about that ebb and flow of like, okay, this dude's been doing nothing but stand blocking me this entire set. Start throwing in some lows until he starts ducking, right? And sometimes it'll be Corsical forward 3, sometimes it'll be back 4, where you're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of damage, but I'll have frame advantage to work with, and then you can do like down forward 1 and stuff. Other aspects of neutral, I talked about the over-reliance on down forward 2 as a whiff punisher, that's fine. And if you don't want to do a low, right, doing those moments when you're like kind of hesitating, core circle back 4 is perfectly fine to throw out as well, right? So instead of like, all right, if you're going to keep stand blocking, instead of doing something that kills your turn, you do something that leaves you at +1, and then you can start moving around, or you can start what's the word? You can start doing a jab check after, or doing something like forward 1+2, right? Other aspects of neutral, it's kind of bled all over, where I'm like, I've talked about stuff that I want to talk about kind of throughout the 2 videos. So I won't harp on it for too much. Punishment / matchup knowledge, right? Your opponent refused to really duck as much as they maybe should have. I mean, some people are just like, oh, Paul's lows aren't that scary. And some people are like, holy shit, fuck Paul's lows. I hate these things. You know, you have all sorts of people. This person was very adamant and just kind of like, I'm very comfortable just kind of stand blocking all day. I don't really care about your lows. So use them, right? Again, I've talked about it before, but if the person is not utilizing the lows, or if the person refuses to duck, you just keep doing lows until they do. And if they don't duck, then they'll just die, right? Like you'll just keep racking up the chip damage. And taking more advantage of what you notice that your opponent isn't doing, right? If you're worried about the sidestepping and the dude's not ducking, just do core circle back 2. At worst, maybe a back 1 just to kind of like test the waters if you're like, oh, I need the speed. But I feel like core circle back 4 would have been fine, right? Punishment / matchup knowledge. It's tough. I think you do need to experiment more with just kind of ducking and experimenting more with like wall standing 4 as, as a mix-up tool, as a punish, etc., etc. Don't rely so much on the evasion of down forward 2. Don't rely on any evasion from like Paul's his backswing blow, right? It's actually pretty solid, but I don't know, in terms of that thing's really evasive and you get a death fist on hit, right? But it's also just kind of like you don't want to risk a really slow high that if the opponent is just kind of very patient and the moment they see Paul move back to like one end of the arena in getting ready for the elbow, that they just duck and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, that's another thing. It's like if you're really aiming for that down forward 2, it's just kind of like, okay, well, experiment with core circle forward 1 as a whiff punisher, right? Just kind of like if he's going for the whiffs, like you can use the high evasion for core circle forward 1 and then just aim for the big whiff punishers when he extends his legs as much as he was doing. That's something to consider. But the main thing is just kind of like changing up your offense to take more advantage of what your opponent is not doing, and then also what's the word I'm looking for? Just challenging your opponent more, trying to duck in certain situations, and then seeing what they do, how they react to it. I felt like the Miguel liked a lot of back 1 as kind of a challenge to your pressure because Paul's on the slower side. He doesn't really have anything that's going to contest back 1 very well. So then you just duck, right? Stagger your pressure. Instead of continuously doing move after move after move, you do move, pause, right? And then do something like move into movement or move into just duck, and see when he likes to try and challenge you. I guess this is kind of like punishment / matchup knowledge. Just again, experiment with your tools, right? Down forward 1 back, super solid tool. What does Frontier like to do when he blocks that move? And start tailoring your offense accordingly, right? If he challenges with back 1 or a jab, then you do down forward 1 back into back sway 3 and counter hit launch him, or just commit to the string so you don't have to worry about any loss of damage or anything, etc., etc., etc. Does he let the mix up rock? Then you do down forward 1 into core circle back 4, and then continue your turn a little bit here and there, or try to do more movement stuff. Just that ebb and flow. Man, I just kind of really went off topic here because I just started remembering our discussion about like, hey, where can I plug in some moves here? I should have approached this differently. Yeah, well, too late. We committed. Combos / Oki. Combos are rock solid. I think your combos are great. Oki, I think you are overcommitting to some Oki. Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice the Oki, especially like when you do stuff like Trooper Roll and you had a life lead, and it's like, why? Who cares? Who cares about Oki when you have the life lead? Force the Miguel to come to you and start repositioning yourself. So if the Miguel wants to chase you, he has to kind of like sidestep so that he'll be more susceptible to back one and quarter circle back four, or he just focuses on chasing you down, and next thing you know, the roles are reversed, where the Miguel's back is to the wall and you've got everything you need. A ballsy play would be to like stick to the wall and just force him to approach you, and he'll be more inclined to use some of his like wall splitting tools or something, and you know that might be on the slower side, so that's when quarter circle back four down 4-2 can really work out. Other aspects of combo slash upkeep at the wall, right? When he techs and you go for down one, I guess I get why you'd go for the speed. I guess trying to be more greedy at the wall, right? If you're gonna do 3 quarter circle back twos in a row, swap the first one for the forward 1+2, and see what he does, right? All of this is information you can be gathering. If I start off my pressure at the wall with forward 1+2, what does he like to do, right? Does he try to challenge? Does he press a button, etc., etc., etc.? And then a bit more, of course, circle back 4 at the wall, because if they press anything, if they sidestep at the wrong time, you get a really nice wall splat, or you get a crumble stun or something, right? And if they don't, you get to be +1 in their face, and that's perfectly fine. And if they start to duck, you press any of your mids that delete the opponent's health bar, and you're like, nice, thanks for ducking at the wall, right? You know, that's just something to consider. It's like Paul at the wall gets like a huge mental buff, because people are like, oh fuck, I'm facing Paul and my back is to the wall. This stage just cannot get worse. So utilizing that, what are they going to be doing? And it's like, okay, I'm facing an opponent who knows Paul, who knows how scary Paul is at the wall. What does he not do? He doesn't duck that often. He doesn't try to like account for Demo Man. He just kind of stands there and just waits for me to end my turn. Then you just keep doing moves that don't end your turn, right? Or you're able to like stagger your offense accordingly. Personal opinion stuff. I talked about it a lot already, just kind of like, hey, here's my 2 cents. Definitely think with your movement you can start utilizing sidestep 3 a lot more, just kind of masking it in there and then going for it just when they least expect it, and then utilizing the +4 a bit more. There was a situation where you did sidestep 4, you got the counter hit, but you already committed to the sidestep, like another or you got sidestep 3, got the counter hit, but you already committed to another sidestep. And I guess I'm just not sure why, right? Like, it either gets blocked or if it's hit. And if it gets hit, I feel like you should continue your offense, right? If you land sidestep 3 when you're +4, down forward 1, and start utilizing that a bit more to try and see like, okay, what does my opponent like to do, and stuff like that. Or you go for a throw, right? Like you're +4, you're not gonna have to worry about back 1, you're not gonna have to worry about jabs. You just start throwing the guy and just being like, hey, start ducking and start breaking these. And if he starts to mash breaks and stuff like that, like you constantly keeping your opponent in Paul's own sort of form of blender, right? Like Paul's 50-50 vortex is kind of a meme without the wall, right? But instead, his mind games and his mix-ups are really just about from the plethora of annoying safe tools he has and just constantly abusing them. So abuse them. Other aspects of personal opinion stuff. I definitely think, you know, I already talked about it. I like back 4. Back 4 is cool. Oh, this is really long. Anyway, you know the drill, man. I hope this helped. And if you had more specific questions, because I just realized we talked about like, how the fuck do I open up people, right? I hope I gave you some food for thought. If you'd like me to do another rundown through the set, just kind of being like, would you be able to pinpoint more specific areas and what tools to use in those areas, I'd be more than willing to give it a shot, right? Apologies, I had to cut up the video because something came up and I had to stop recording for a second. And then I'm just like, I was already pretty deep into the recording, so I wasn't going to bother with it. But yeah, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, you know, just let me know. All right, cool.